The Earth is running out, and humans have halted all scientific research that could save the planet. Cooper, a former NASA pilot turned farmer, has a son named Tom and a highly intelligent daughter named Murph. Murph tells Cooper about a ghost that keeps throwing books and things off her bookshelf. But Cooper reminds her that they're not real and challenges her to prove her theory. To their surprise, one day a sandstorm hits their house, and the dust forms a strange pattern on Murph's bedroom floor. She believes it's the ghost, but Cooper doesn't believe her. However, upon analyzing the pattern, he realizes it's binary code written as coordinates. They decide to head to the location, which leads them to a protected area where NASA operates secretly. Here, Cooper meets Professor Brand and his daughter, Dr. Amelia, who explain that there is no solution for Earth. Eventually, no crops will grow, and the air will be so polluted that humans won't be able to breathe it. They reveal to Cooper that NASA discovered a wormhole near Saturn that leads to another galaxy with 12 potentially habitable planets. 10 years ago, they sent astronauts to study these planets, and 3 of them have the potential to sustain humanity. They also believe that a benevolent being placed the wormhole there to help humans. Now they have 2 plans. Plan A involves sending more people to verify which of the 3 planets is suitable and then transporting humanity. They're using an equation Professor Brand has been working on. Plan B involves sending thousands of fertilized eggs to start a colony on the new planet. After some convincing, Cooper reluctantly agrees to be the mission pilot for the sake of humanity and his children. Murph, upset, locks herself in her room. Cooper consoles her, and she tries to change his mind by saying that the message the ghost has been trying to send by throwing books is stay. Cooper doesn't listen and hugs her as if it were their last time together, giving her a watch and explaining that time and space is slower than on Earth, suggesting they may be the same age when he returned. Finally, the spacecraft takes off, with Cooper, Dr. Amelia, and the rest of the crew leaving Earth. 2 years pass as they reach Saturn and enter the wormhole. Dr. Amelia sees a distortion resembling a benevolent being's extended arm and reaches out to it. They traverse the wormhole and arrive in the galaxy, heading towards the planet Miller, named after the astronaut previously sent there. However, they encounter a problem. This planet orbits dangerously close to a black hole, causing each hour spent there to equal 7 years on Earth. They need to act quickly. They descend to the planet, leaving behind their colleague Ron. Upon arrival, they lose a lot of time, realizing that the planet is a giant ocean with massive waves. One of these waves destroyed Miller's spacecraft upon landing. Suddenly, a giant wave approaches and Cooper orders everyone to return to the ship. However, it doesn't respond, and Cooper tries to retrieve the data from Miller's spacecraft. One of their accompanying robots, Case, saves Dr. Amelia, while another team member dies. Cooper attempts to start the engine but fails due to flooding. He becomes furious with Dr. Amelia, berating her for wasting so much time. 1 hour had passed, meaning they had lost decades on Earth. They finally return to the station and find an aged Ron, realizing that 23 years have passed. Cooper receives 23 years' worth of messages from his family, witnessing the lives of his children unfold. He breaks down upon learning that his son Tom, now a husband and father, lost a child in the last video. Tom says goodbye to Cooper, accepting that he will never return. Then a video from Murph appears in which she continues to reproach him for his actions and pleads for his return. Throughout the years, Murph has been assisting Professor Brand in solving the equation, but begins to suspect that something is amiss. Now back with the astronauts, they face the decision of choosing which of the remaining 2 planets to visit, Man's planet or Edmund's planet, which has stopped transmitting information. Dr. Amelia wants to go to the latter, arguing that it has more promising data. She utters a line that, to me, is the message of the movie. Love is the one thing we're capable of perceiving that transcends dimensions of time and space. Dr. Mann confesses that he also knew about the equation because it requires entering a black hole and extracting certain information, which is theoretically impossible. Cooper becomes angry and only wants to go back home to see his children. The new plan is for Cooper to help assemble the fertilized eggs on the planet's surface and then leave. Dr. Mann pretends to lead Cooper to the supposed surface of the planet, but on the way, he turns off the radio, pushes Cooper, and damages his helmet, exposing him to toxic air, leaving him to die. However, Cooper manages to crawl, takes the radio, and calls for help. It turns out that Dr. Mann had also been lying all this time. The planet is uninhabitable, and he wanted someone to come so that he could steal their spacecraft and continue the mission. Amelia rescues Cooper, and they pursue Dr. Mann, who has stolen the spacecraft and heads to the station. He arrives but fails to dock the spacecraft correctly, causing an explosion and his death. Cooper, Amelia, and the remaining crew return to the station. They cannot go back to Earth, but they might be able to reach the remaining planet, Edmund's planet. However, there are not enough resources. So Cooper sacrifices himself, puts Amelia and the rest on course for the planet, and allows himself to be sucked into the black hole to gather the necessary information to solve the famous equation. Instead of dying, Cooper finds himself in what appears to be an endless room where each wall represents a different moment in time and a specific location. Behind the bookshelf in his daughter Murph's room, he sees himself leaving that day. He realizes he can communicate using Morse code and throws all those books, conveying the message, "Stay." He was the ghost all along. Cooper forms the coordinates of NASA with sand and binary code so that he can find his way back there first. He then embeds the information from the black hole into the watch he gave Murph, who returns to her room and discovers that her father is the ghost and that the watch holds the answer to solve the equation. Murph manages to execute the plan. Meanwhile, the place where Cooper is collapses and he re-enters the wormhole. Along the way, he takes Amelia's hand and we realize that he was the benevolent being who placed the wormhole there, allowing him to do everything he did. Finally, Cooper wakes up in a hospital within a place called Cooper Station near Saturn. He's grateful that they named it after him, but it turns out it was really named after his daughter. Cooper goes to see his daughter and finds her at the age of 114. She is overjoyed to see her father return and asks him to go find Amelia, who has just landed on the planet Edmund. Due to the relativity of time, she likely believes that Amelia is humanity's last hope, unaware that the plan has already been executed and humans have been saved. Now, returning to Amelia's phrase, love is the one thing we're capable of perceiving that transcends dimensions of time and space.
Hope you liked the video. Subscribe for more content like this and hit the like button to help us out. Also leave a comment if you want us to recap your favorite movie.